Hey, Pastor Mo here. So this week in our series of Connecting with an Unhurried God, we looked at Ecclesiastes 3. It speaks into the reality that there is a season for everything. This comes out of a piece of scripture written by King Solomon in his old age. He was a man considered to be one of the wisest men to ever have lived. He speaks truth, that there is a season for everything. There's a time when we are to celebrate birth, and there's a time that our bodies must return to the earth. There's a time we are to grieve, but there is also a time that we are to come together and dance. That there is a time we are to be searching, and a time we just need to stop looking. It is hard to sit in this space, especially when I hear things like there is even a time for war. That even in the midst of war, God has made everything beautiful for its own time. Now, I'm well aware that God did not create war, but rather evil exists. It exists in the midst of our broken humanity, and sin, it comes far too easy to humankind. I've been seeing just how easily the evils of war can manifest as I've watched online, and I found myself praying for the 260 young adults around my own daughter's age in their early 20s who were brutally murdered as they just tried to have fun and celebrate at a techno festival. The footage was heart-wrenching, to say the least. I've watched the pain that comes from what evil can do as over 3,700 innocent Palestinians, many women, children, elderly, were left dead from Israeli bombings. I naturally want to question our Creator. Why is there a season for this? Whenever we go through painful seasons of life that feel so unjust, it feels so natural to ask God why. King Solomon, in his wisdom, calls us into a different space. He calls us out of our natural inclination to question God when we feel hopeless. And instead, he moves us to focus our attention on the deeper truth. That yes, within our lifetime, there will be many seasons where evil may surround us and life feels more like a burden. But look for the beauty. He tells us to look for the smile you need to brighten your day, to look for the hug that you so desperately need or another does, to look around you and fill your heart with gratitude for what you do have and the people who have been placed around you, and celebrate it. That life is too short, and we are to keep our eyes open and to look for every opportunity to celebrate the good, to bring love into the spaces and places that need it most, to bring joy where there is despair, and to be the joy that can only be found in fully trusting God, even and especially in our sadness or the pain of the world that surrounds us. King Solomon reminds us that God has planted eternity in our hearts. And although we can't see the whole scope of God's story for creation or for us and our lives personally, what we can do is trust. We can trust in his love for us and all his children. We can trust in his promises. And as King Solomon said, enjoy life. Look for the beauty. Look for it everywhere, especially in the places you least expect it. Let us be wise enough to live out of this wisdom and nothing less. God bless.